what is going on, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to be reflashing the ECU on Sparky. So as you all know, I've been having this random misfire codes, random air fuel mixture codes, and the car just has not been running right the entire summer. You might be able to tell by my tone of voice, I'm pretty exhausted with the issue at this point. I told you guys in the last video, I have a shop appointment on August 22nd, and I was talking with the owner of the shop, and he kindly asked me to reflash the ECU and put everything back to stock, at least in regard to sensors. So I have the 540 MAF on the car, as you guys know. This MAF is a Bremmy MAF. Now, I didn't know this when I bought the MAFs, but the Bremmy MAFs are not OEM for this car. While they are a reputable aftermarket brand, I've heard stories, and the shop kind of said the same thing to me, of sometimes these MAFs kind of failing prematurely or having random weird issues. And while we're not really sure if this is my issue or not, it probably isn't. They said to eliminate a variable, they wanted me to put it back to stock. So unfortunately, you can see right here, I have the factory airbox. It's going to be the saddest day of my entire life, getting rid of all the beautiful cold air intake sounds. I'm gonna miss those cold air intake sounds so much. I do still have the Dynon tube, so I might put that one on there because I can make that work with stock MAF, but we'll deal with that down the road. I'm working on car in my sandals today, and I kind of don't feel like working on this for more than an hour, so let's go ahead and make this quick. So we are going to start in the engine bay, and obviously we are gonna be messing with these two pieces today. So our first step, we're gonna take out these clips, which we are actually going to have to reuse for the stock airbox, which is one of the reasons I like this intake so much. It's because it's very complete in its design. Instead of using hose clamps and everything, it literally uses the factory airbox design. I cannot lament how disappointed I am enough, but take this boot off. Actually, we're just gonna take off this whole assembly, so I'm gonna go ahead and rip it off, and we'll just meet you there. All right, so now we have the intake and MAF assembly out, and basically, what we're going to have to do, because the 540 MAF is not just plug and play swap, at least not OBD2 E36s, is we're going to have to swap this connector out with the OBD2 connector, so the one the car came with, to go back to the stock MAF. I have a 540 DIY video that I explained this whole process further. It is a bit primitive, but I still found it very helpful in watching it back to make sure I did this right. Click up here if you'd like to watch that. But what we're going to do is we have these pins in here, these wires, and they each go to a connector. And I'm going to have to unlock this connector with our depinning tool. And with the depinning tool, you're gonna have to see that gray thing in there. You're gonna have to twist that to unlock it counterclockwise, which I don't know if I'm gonna be able to do it on video. Like I said, link in the description and up top, and that one spot in the video that shows you how to do this. But you're gonna take something like this, you're gonna twist it to unlock it, and you'll be able to take another tool, kind of like this guy, but smaller, to physically push the pins out of the connector, which will then release this connector. And for those of you who are wondering about the wiring order, it is going to be the same between the two of these. I'm not going to be able to show you on video, but there are labels on the inside of here, 1, 2, 3, 4 for your pins. It's the same on the 540 connector and the OBD2 MAF connector. So I'm going to go ahead and swap those out, and I'm going to show you what they look like when you have your connectors off. Alrighty everyone, so you can now see I got it off. This is the 540 connector, this is the OB2. You can see they're a little bit different, which is why they won't fit into the respective MAFs. So I'm gonna set the 541 down. Now you see we have our wires. So on this connector, we got our little pins, they're labeled. I know which one these go to, so now what I'm gonna do is I'm kinda just gonna fish them in. I got brown here, put that in 1, yellow is 2, you're gonna kind of just fish them in. Not that you guys asked for DIY in this, but it's just kind of what I'm doing to the car. And it's something I haven't really seen anyone show on YouTube other than myself. I don't know, it just seems like the 540 MAF swap is one of those things that everyone just kind of assumed everyone else knew, but then anyone who doesn't know kind of gets screwed. But now we're gonna kind of just get them in, do the connector. Honestly, you could do a 540 MAF swap in literally less, like half an hour if you know what you're doing. So this is as far as I'm gonna get. I'm gonna grab some tweezers and kind of fish them in like so. And just fish it in here, and you want to be very careful not to damage your wires, because you know, damaged MAF wires is no bueno. Alright everyone, so mechanically now, as far as we are concerned, this car has been put back to stock. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna come over here, grab that's our 540 MAF, S52 MAF right here. Make sure it's going the right way, so arrow pointing that way. And this should plug back into it, which, you know, should be, yep, just like that. There we go, we now have our stock MAF. I'm gonna go ahead and commence the saddest moment of my ownership of this car and put the factory airbox back on. I cannot lament how disappointed this makes me. I'm weeping with tears. The cold air intake was the only thing that made me happy about this car. I'm just kidding. Let's go ahead and get this back on, quit being over dramatic, and I'm gonna show you the computer work we're gonna do. Because obviously you put the stock MAF back on, and if I keep running with the 540 MAF tune, the car's gonna run even worse than it already has been, if that's even possible. So without wasting any more time, let's go ahead and get to the computer work. We are back, and I have some really bad news for us. I went to go flash the ECU. I was trying to set it up, and Arcade Tunes got a new software. And of course, before doing this, I didn't really check with them to see if I could still use my old tune files and just reflash the car. I went to go try to do it, and their new software will not read the old tune files. So I went ahead and emailed Arcade Tunes. Now I just have to wait for them to get back to me with my tune file I need to reflash the car. Until then, this car actually now remains undrivable because I can't run it without the tune on it. So I'm gonna, hopefully they get back to me in like a day. I had a trip to take in this car, which is like the last trip I needed to take before I took it to the mechanic shop. So hopefully they get back to me, and then I can go ahead and reflash everything. So I'll see you guys in a few days. We are back. It is a new day. It's been a couple of days, and I got my email back from Arcade Tunes. But before we flash it, I do want to show you guys, I did a video on how to flash your car with Arcade Tunes like a bit over a year ago now. A little quick recap from that video is you do have to bridge 2 pins in here. It's 14 and 18, 2 and 17. That is to put your car's ECU into right mode and to connect the OBD2 port to the ECU. That's kind of something I don't really see anyone ever really talking about. Usually you'll bridge the pins under the connector, so it's just always available, but I'm kind of lazy and I really feel like cutting wires, so I just kind of put 16 gauge wire on the connector there, just connect them. Obviously plug your car in. But I'm gonna show you guys the new Arcade Tunes software. I actually kind of like it. It's pretty intuitive and it's a lot easier to use than the old one. The old one was a bit clunky and it felt very like early 2000s, like tuner, kind of janky. Maybe I'm just inexperienced and that's like the norm, but I find the new software a lot better. If we come into the car here, you will see the new software, which looks similar to the last one in some ways. Got Arcade Tunes up here. So we are in the right tab. We're going to hit identify, which I already did, but you hit that, and then you go to write tune. I was going to ask me for files. These are my old tune files, but they gave me new ones in the new format. So I'm gonna do this guy, which is the 540 MAF tune, but without the 540 MAF, so it's just the ignition timing tune, whatever. Now it is going to start writing. We have a little progress bar there at the bottom, so I'm gonna kind of let that go, and I'll meet you guys back when this is done. All right, we are done. Turn the ignition off. And of course my coolant light is on again. I don't know why that keeps doing that. The coolant level is fine. Spend 10 seconds. Now we're going to throw the key back in the ignition. And now I'm going to go plug in the MAF and we will give her a start. Fingers crossed. Ooh, that's a lot better. So I come to the tailpipe. Definitely hear a slight misfire. I'm kind of hearing the idle. It's definitely still misfiring, but it is running a lot better than it was. I'm almost 100% sure at this point that that 540 MAF was bad, because even unplugging the MAF after I had put this one on, I left it unplugged because I had the old tune on there. It ran a lot better than it did, so I don't know what was up with that. I'm never gonna buy a Brimy MAF ever again. That was a mistake. I think I'm gonna warranty that one, get a new one, and maybe sell it to someone who might have better luck than me. If you guys enjoyed the video, hit the like button. Let me know in the comments down below. Any inputs? What do you guys think? What do you think about the map? You guys have a lot of experience with Bremy maps. This is my kind of first try, and I think this is gonna be my last try, and I'll maybe down the road. I think if I do the 540 map swap again, it's either gonna be with the M50 manifold, or and when I do it, I'm gonna find a OEM Bosch map or a genuine BMW one, either used, or I'll put up the $450 for a new one. But that's down the road. I'm not really in a rush to do it. Honestly, the 540 MAF mod overall was kind of a waste of money. It didn't really do anything to the car. I maybe felt a little bit of power up top, but I'll definitely be able to tell now that I have it back to stock and like compare it side by side. It was probably just the placebo effect. But now the car is ready for the mechanics next week. I'm not sure when I'm gonna get around to editing this and uploading it because I'm gonna be out of town. If you guys are interested in any of the things that I used in this video, I'll put Amazon affiliates links in the description down below. It would mean a lot to me if you use those links to buy the products. Obviously, I'm not going to tell you to go buy something you're not going to need, but if you want any of these stuff, I'll get a small commission. I'm a college student. Anything helps. But anyway, enough of me preaching about being broke with the BMW, such as I'm sure thousands of people across the country. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Take care, and I will see you in the next one.